About 3 weeks ago, I guess you actually, in an interview, mentioned that you have pledged sweeping changes to the housing rules if you were to form the next government.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of our listeners are actually landlords, or they do own a mom and pop, rental property, and they're a bit concerned about the new rules which were put into place by the current government, and also a news which fortunately did not get much traction, where houses which have been empty for more than 6 months, there was a proposal to commandeer these houses and, let homeless people move into these houses, which seems very, very, hard left socialist.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So what's your take on it? What are some of the, items on which you think you can roll back, the rules?
You know that I disagree with all of those things, and we will get rid of these rules and regulations and the healthy homes ones, the residential tenancy changes, because here's the thing, Roy. They are not just bad for the landlords, and they are bad for the landlords. They go against property rights, and they add cost and compliance and all these things. They are also bad for the tenants, because with the changes that Labour New Zealand First Greens have made, you have seen the rent go up further and faster than ever before.
Absolutely.
It's now $50-something higher because many landlords have sold their properties, and where they have had costs put on them, they have passed them on to the renter. And that has made it much harder. And that has been under Jacinda Ardern's watch. We have more poverty, not less. So we will clear those away. There are other ones as well, like the RMA, where we need big changes so we can build more houses and we can make New Zealand more successful.
So since you spoke about the RMA, let's talk about Kiwi Build. So if you were to, be the next Prime Minister, what would be your policy on Kiwi Build? Would you abandon it? Would you change it?
Abandon, because it's been big failure, and so there's no good that will come from that. And I think its reputation is so bad that there's no point in going with that. We will do three things. We will reform the laws like the RMA, so that we have more land and we can see easier intensification and also more housing developments around Auckland and other parts of New Zealand. So that is one thing. I think there is a role for some state building. I think there are some areas where poor people with difficult circumstances need the government to get in and do things. And I think our state houses at the moment, they are big and old. In Tauranga, where I live, we can turn one old state house into maybe 2 or 3 great townhouses and make a big difference. Fantastic. So there's things like that that we need to do.